Hello, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So, this is a more formal and more beautiful kind of outfit. Let me know what you guys think. Is it looking cool? And I really do look more cool wearing the sunglasses. But yeah, in this video, I'm going to talk about some really existential kind of points about life. For instance, when you be asked who you are, what would you say to that? You probably would reply with your name and the country that you're born in. Let's give you an example. For example, let's talk about a person whose name is Alex from Netherlands. When we ask him, okay, Alex, who are you? He would say, okay, my name is Alex and I am from Netherlands. But hear me out on this thing. His name Alex was given to him at birth by his parents, and his country was also chosen by, like, very randomly, by God perhaps, that he was born in the Netherlands or another country. So when we ask him who you are, he's not his name and he's not the country that he's from, because he says my nationality is from Netherlands or my name is Alex. So when you be asked who you are, how can you actually reply to that? It's a very interesting kind of concept. You cannot say I am my body or I am my hand, because you say my hand, my body. So in short, who are you? Is it your job? Is it something more kind of personal? This is a really interesting thing, because last few days I had actually this kind of question from some of my peers at university, and I talked to them, and something that I really realized, which was interesting, was that they seem to be actually lost in the social kind of identity, because this mindless kind of scrolling on social media every single day would cause a lot of things like identity kind of loss for the new generations that are yet to come. At the same time, the generation that we have these days, they're really smart. They have phones in their hands and everything. But at the same time, when you ask them, who are you and what are you doing? Say, I'm doing some studies. I would like to have this job. I would like to do this. And my hobbies are these. But who they really are is a question that is yet to be answered. I was actually reading some really good book by David Goggins. He has two famous books. One, the name is Never Finished, and the other one is You Can't Hurt Me. He's a great guy. He had a very tough kind of childhood and all, but at the same time, he became really an influential kind of person, and he's really honest about everything. One thing that I really appreciate about him is that he shares his journey and everything, and he says that through hard kind of time you can actually become stronger. And there was a famous quote. It said, if I'm not mistaken, because I have to recall it, he said, tough men create easy time creates like weak men, and weak men again create hard time. So it's a cycle. So if you want to actually take care of your life, you need to go through the hard things. I know it's easier said than done. Sometimes it's difficult to do these things, but at the same time, look at all the successful people. What differentiates them from unsuccessful one is that they have a capacity for belief, and when they're actually believing in something, no matter the odds, the whole world will tell them, hey, what you're doing is wrong. They will be like, no, I have to do it. And they will go and do it. There was a really interesting thing that I read from Jim Carrey, and it really touched my heart. He said that before he ever became a very famous kind of actor, he used to have this kind of manifestation, have this kind of idea and belief in himself that he will become very famous, and he wrote a check to himself for a few $1,000,000, and he kept it in his wallet and he kept saying it. And it's really interesting because there's a video of him also online. He said that in the first year that I actually started acting professionally, I made if you times that money in the first year, and from the movie Dumb and Dumber, he made more money than that, and it's like really interesting. So my question to you guys is that, do you believe in yourself? Because if you don't believe in yourself, who else would do that? That's a very important question, because you see, sometimes the people who actually become higher in society or get more are not the smartest people, but they have a kind of self-confidence, and self-confidence come from doing something. Self-confidence come from being something. Whether you actually a good athlete, a good kind of musician, you're good at something, then you can actually become confident in that. Otherwise, it's not confidence. So when you be asked who you are, who would you think that you are? Because if you don't know who you are, who can actually tell you? And you need to decide for yourself so that you can become actually successful in your life. Imagine this: you sit on your bed before you actually go to sleep, and take a pen and write down, for example, your name, and then who you actually are, who you will become in a few years, what is your dream, all these things, just write them down. For example, you can say, Alex, for example, 25, from Netherlands, I like to become an engineer, or this or that, or I would like to learn this kind of things. And then you decide, okay, in order to get there, I have to do these actions, this list of things to do. Then you write those, and then you try to attack them. Tom Cruise had a really interesting kind of interview once, and he said that he actually would write down the things that he needs to do. And he would do and actually proceed to action, because your mind is not made to actually overthink stuff. It's made to solve the problems. So when you have written a problem right on the paper, you can think about, okay, for example, I like to go to Italy. I should learn Italian. Okay, so I know it. How can I do it? Then you can search online. You can use artificial intelligence. You can use YouTube. You can use a lot of different platforms to simplify your process to get to your goal. But if you don't have a goal, or if you have a goal but it's ambiguous, it's in the air, it's not like, it's like in your mind but you don't really know what to do, and you run to your friend and say, hey, I want to do this, they're not really the right people to guide you. They probably will give you wrong advice, and you will not lead to getting there in your life. It was a really beautiful phrase that says, when you like die and you go to the, let's say, the next world, God will say, read that engraved on there. Just for example, Alex 25, astronaut, engineer, NASA, greatest technician ever, these kind of things. And Alex would read and say, that's not me. God would say that that's who you were supposed to be. It's a very interesting thing. And if you notice things, that in order to become great at something, you need to work hard, you need to outsmart people, you need to outgrow a lot of your friends, because you will fall within the same standard that you set on yourself. You will fall for the daily habits that you got, not the dreams or goals that you have. Look at Cristiano, for instance. He's got millions of euros. He's still playing football. You think he needs the money? He needs the fame? He's already very famous. So why is he doing that? Become the greatest footballer ever? He's already among the top tier. So why is he doing these things? Most people, if they have a few $1 million, they will not actually work anymore. He's training every single day. Training like hell. Why would you put your body like that through all this kind of suffering? Where you can go party, you can do all these kind of things. Because I will tell you, in this world, you will learn by social media, by a lot of things, that you don't need to work hard. You need to just relax, find the balance in your life, and just take it easy. But you're not going to become successful like that. Show me one person who was successful and they were balanced. It's not really. It's like you have to take the extra mile. You have to go, you have to push forward. Then when you do these things, then okay, you can actually relax and you can find the balance and everything. That's the point. Because these days with the dopamine, the fake dopamine that you just scroll on your phone, another story. Hey, one of my friends is in another country. Oh, it's like an energy vampire that you have on your hand. Sometimes it makes you happy. Your, let's say, the feed on your Instagram or TikTok knows you psychologically. And they know how to trigger you to keep staying on the app. Because the more you stay on the app, the more advertisement you're going to watch. And it's going to be beneficial for the system. So they're trying to actually do this thing so that they can actually keep you right there like an entrapment. So if you do these things every single day, you're online on social media for many, many hours, well, your time is being wasted. And after a few years, you look back and say, what did I do with my life? I didn't learn anything. And here's the most interesting part. The AI knows a lot of things these days. And is really going to be on your team when you know you want something, you ask it, it can help you. But in a few years, because of this social media addiction and this kind of, there's all this kind of shorts that you watch, 30-second short, then you go to the next one. I know, I do it also. Everybody does it. It's like a daily kind of routine that we all do. You do these things. It does some stuff to your cognitive behavior and your kind of psychological capacity. So when you see this thing and you see the next one, you get tired very quickly. You cannot go deep in a subject. If it's, for example, a 10-minute thing to learn, to do something, or sit at a class, you get really bored. I'm also like that. When I sit in the class of a lecture, I would get really bored. I would just open up my phone. But this thing is going to cause a lot of negative impact on the brain. Because last few decades, people used to go in deep kind of conversation and details. But these days, we just go on the surface. If you need something, ask AI, AI will help you. But in a few years, we would become people that would heavily rely themselves on AI. And we wouldn't know how to use this calculator that we have because we never were obliged to do it. I have a specific video on that, which you can actually find up here and check it out. If you like this video, feel free to like and comment down below what you guys think, because I'm very curious to know your perspective on these topics. And you can share it with your friends and spread the kind of information, because what I personally believe is that we have to be like talking about these subjects because majority of people don't talk about them. I know sometimes the video is like a lot of different ideas at the same time, but that's what the life is. Sometimes you try to go for something and a few different things happen at the same time and you'll be like, okay, like this, like that. But all in all, I would say that life is actually a beautiful journey, and the magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding. So, you know it, man. You know it, my friend. What you need to do. It might be a difficult thing for you to do it, like you won't like it personally, but that's what needs to be done. So if you do that, done, great, then you can do the rest of the things. But if you know you have to do something, but you say, okay, I will do it tomorrow. Then tomorrow comes, then the next day. There is no tomorrow. You got to do something, just take the first step. Then stay there for 5 more seconds. Then 5 more minutes. Then 10 more minutes. Then slowly you see, okay, I've done the very difficult thing that was in my mind a difficult thing. But when I got to action, to actually doing it, it was not that difficult. Because we tend to overcomplicate things. But when you take action, it's actually very easy to happen. And let me know what you guys think about my outfit. Do I look good in a suit? I think it's a very beautiful kind of outfit for people to wear a suit. And yeah, if you like this video, you probably like one of these 2 videos that pop up on the screen. And until the next one, have a great one, my friends.